What was your school's huge scandal? A girl in my year lied about having a sexual relationship with a teacher, in gross detail might I add. We all knew that she was straight up crazy and was making it up, but the school board obviously had to take it very seriously and the teacher was fired. Worst part was that the teacher's wife was also a teacher at the school, and so, even though she wasn't fired, she pretty much had to leave her job as well. The school board eventually figured out the girl was lying and offered both teachers their positions back, but they both declined. Some guy jokingly wrote, "If I won't get a B for this, I'm going on a rampage." On his English test fast forward 15 minutes, a police response unit of 12 stormed the classroom and fucking arrested the shit out of him, without being brutal, but it still was quite frightening for deterrence reasons I guess. We had 2 teachers arrested for secretly recording kids in separate incidents. Our woodshop teacher had a low angle camera on the floor pointing up towards the seats, and also would slide an iPad out from under his desk when girls would walk up to it. He let a student borrow his flash drive, who found the evidence. Then our speech teacher was caught hiding a camera underneath a sink in one of the private bathrooms that special education used. My high school guidance counselor fucked a science teacher's wife and everyone knew about it. They got a divorce. Both teachers still work at the same school to this day, and students will never ever let it go. The story has been handed down from year to year. We had a few actually. The biggest one was a huge fiasco where some news stations across the US thought it would be worth covering. Every year at the first game each school in our district plays against each other in football. The bands trade a food basket of some kind. Well, one game our school gives a predominantly black school in our school district a fruit basket that contained a small watermelon. It by far wasn't the defining feature of the basket and wasn't meant as anything, just a member of the basket. Well, the band after the game was eating from the basket and a parent saw the watermelon and freaked out, calling our school racist for giving their school a watermelon. She ended up calling a bunch of news channels and they came and reported on it. In the end, all of the kids who gave the basket lost all of their scholarships for college for the next fall, and some even had their offer of admission taken away. All because a mom thought a heartfelt gift was racist. Edit. To those searching and finding the story online. There was a pack of watermelon gum in the fruit basket with other packages of gum and candy. Just clarifying that, while there was more to the story, there was also more not told. I just simplified it a little. Someone created a fake Facebook profile for our principal. He was commenting realistically on teachers' pages, but the context never lined up. Nice to see you last weekend, Ms. Brown. Then once he had everyone as friends, he started simply roasting kids, hahaha. He accessed the account from the computer lab and was never caught. He was my friend's brother. I recently learned that principal of a school I used to go to got fired. I was kinda glad because he was a dickhead. The reason he got fired? After communism was abolished in Poland, apparently, if you wanted to have administrative job you had to sign a document that said you didn't work with communists. Recently it came to light that he in fact did work with communists. Someone spread photos of naked female students which forced some of them to drop out. Gym teacher / basketball coach and custodian were caught in the act in the showers. Custodian lost his job, but teacher kept his. Go figure. In my senior year, a group of friends, who were goth before goth was really a thing, experienced a tragedy when one of the friends accidentally killed the other. The friend who caused the accident took his life a few weeks later. This touched off a wave of suicides at my school, 5 in total, over the next 3 months. Had 2 students fuck in the library. Large protest caused the school to have to be shut down. One teacher was a pedophile and violated multiple kids. A toilet exploded gas and caused a dozen kids to get sick. A picture of my senior class in a hot tub got out. There were boys and girls in it at the same time. The administration considered expelling us all. Christian schools are nonsense. The assistant principal was embezzling money. It promptly started a hashtag. Some dude got a chick pregnant in the toilet. So, they locked the toilets and teachers had to escort kids to the toilet. They also got cameras pointed toward the toilet. Edit. The cameras were in the hallway, monitoring the toilet area. not inside the toilet. Edit 2. Toilets are what y'all call restroom in the States. Well, I don't know if this was a school-wide scandal, and it was years after I graduated, but it's a scandal and a half. I went on holiday with my recently graduated brother. I graduated 6 years before him. He had noticed his friends had posted online that they were in that same city too, so we all met up with this group of super young looking dudes, all around 18 over 19. There was an older looking woman I kind of recognized, and I assumed it was an older sister. I spoke to her saying, "Hey, I know you from somewhere," and she says, "Yeah, I teach at the school." It hit me that I'd seen her speech at my other brother's graduation 3 years before that. Then it hit me that she was holding hands and kissing this guy who looked about 15, and she was in her mid-30s, not to mention his ex-teacher, even though they only hung out before he graduated and then they were instantly official. What the actual fuck? Apparently they now live together and she still teaches there. Super weird. Someone started a My School Gossip Girl page and just started fucking roasting people. Really sticking it to them with some properly nasty stuff. It was great for me, as I love drama, and I'm a totally immaculate person, or just so unimportant I was skipped completely. They never found out who ran it, but I can say that it was vicious, and split the school into factions. War as heck and all that. There was a male and female high school pet teacher that essentially shared an office. They always got along really well, and kids would always joke that we were dating. We were just dumb kids, so we never really thought anything of it. After a couple years, they both started acting weird around each other, and there were rumors that he left his wife and kids for this pet teacher. This wasn't actually true though. What actually happened was they added on a bedroom to their house and the pet teacher moved in. The kids pretty much just had 2 moms and everyone got along wonderfully. It was strange for about a year, and then it was business as usual. I guess they are going on about 15 years strong. One of our teachers was fired because he asked out an alum that he had taught 6 years prior and she called the school board. I think it lingered because it was a bit of an ethical dilemma because they were not in contact outside of school when she was enrolled and underage. They met again at a party of mutual friend who was not related to the school. They did not speak in the 6 years between her graduation and said party. At the time of the incident, she was 24 and he was 30, which is not a weird age difference. Obviously, it was dumb to ask out a former student, but we were all curious if it was really a fireable offense if she was in one class of his over half a decade ago. Edit. To clarify, there was obviously information withheld from the 1,000 plus teenagers. The gossip fire was fueled trying to figure out what we were missing. There were 2 teachers at my school who were in their late 20s early 30s who were married. The husband cheated on her with another teacher in her late 40s. Their affair was known by basically everyone. They were even caught in the same car after a school excursion by passing students. They were on the same seat. Eventually the wife found out, and her office was right next to the mistress apparently, and they moved them to opposite ends of the teacher offices. Also, the husband and wife kept teaching at my school for the entire time I was there, and the husband wound up engaged to his mistress. Apparently the principal was totally on the wife's side, and she got days off to prepare for court whilst the husband didn't. How do nearly all the students know all this? Apparently teachers like gossiping as much as students. My high school district's superintendent hired a relative who wasn't qualified for the job, increased the salary of administrators every year, used the district's credit card to buy meals, groceries, gas, personal electronics, and gift cards. When the state audit went through, they said that the overpay of administrators and the personal spending cost the school district around $1.1 million. Her husband was also an administrator. When she eventually got caught, she just retired and for some reason never faced federal charges. When she retired, she had a $260,518 salary. My favorite part is that the state audit discovered that the district's credit card was used to purchase logging equipment the same month the superintendent's husband filed paperwork to open a timber company. Everyone knew there was corruption in the school district, but no audits or investigations happened until someone was threatened by the superintendent's husband on Facebook.